How's it going, everybody? Welcome back yet again into our single player world, into a now seemingly very familiar area, the docks. And of course, today is another day. I want to do like maybe 3 episodes on where we go on the docks, so maybe we take a little bit of a step away from these in the next one. But today is definitely a big deal dock episode because I am going to be adding a little bit more life to the place, which we did in the last one, of course, because the last one we added these beautiful cranes, which I quite like. I think we got them spot on as far as a crane goes in Minecraft. You know what I mean? Like, you got the scale. You got to get it right. I think we got it right. Now, I've done a little bit more here because I've been a busy builder. Man, that's like, that has that term ever been used, busy builder? I feel like that's like a catchphrase. I don't want it to be my catchphrase, but I feel like it could be a catchphrase. But right here, being a busy builder, of course, we have built the rest of these docks, and it doesn't look too busy. I've noticed this one piece right there, or the lack thereof. Let's go fix that up right now. And, ooh, solid ender pearl to start the episode off. And I'm one of these, so the very last one. Seems like I even planned that. I could finish it off perfectly. All right. So what I've done a few little things. First of all, we've got that hole in there, testing out a few different things, just seeing if I really like the fact that we've left that like that, as if the crane's being held up. But more importantly, we don't have clouds. Okay, I'll fix that. Yeah, something felt odd. It was the clouds. So what I was saying, what we are doing? I can't remember. Okay, where were we? We were going to be talking, yes, about the plan for today, because it's a very important plan, and I think it's going to add another level of life to the place, because a lot of the stuff is merely about adding some fake movement or fake life to Minecraft, and I've got a plan to add real life to the docks, by the way. Just wait for that. But right now, what I'm thinking, what we do, is we add a bit of color, and I want to put in a workstation right over here. And I thought about the term workstation, and I honestly don't know what it is, but it sounds like a very cool term, and it sounds like something that I can build. And I've been thinking about what we'll do, and it's going to be super simple, but it's going to be functional, as if you were working there, as if there was dockmen or dock workers in there, busy building stuff or putting stuff together, unpacking boxes, storing stuff temporarily on the docks. I think that seems like a pretty good place to get shade at bare minimum. So what I'm thinking is, let's just remove the junk from my inventory. We'll take that, we'll take those. We'll stack up on just some basic building supplies. And I want to try and get a roof on top of nothing. That's basically what I want to do. So do we have any organization? No. Anything else that could be of value? I want more of these in slab form. So let's get some of those. And I think I'll meet you on the top. All right, hopping along. Do we have everything? Probably not, but I've got a plan, and that's all that really matters. All right, so my plan is I want to put this little place over here where it goes probably, 7 blocks, maybe 9 blocks long. And it's just going to sit on top here. So picture these get pulled off, put down. I don't even know if there's enough space for them, but pretend they did. And maybe some crates come off, and the crates come right over here underneath the shady area when we've got it. They'll get unpacked and moved on towards the city, and everyone's happy, and everything carries on, and no one gets sunburnt. That seems like a pretty good thing, coming from an Australian as well. So I think that's very appropriate. Sun safe right there. So some of this stuff, let's get these for a base. We do that, and roof material to keep it super simple. So really today is going to be a simple roof day. So let's get going. We just do like 1, 2, we go 1, 2, 3. I think 3 might be too much. It might be too little in terms of gap, but we'll see how this goes. If we can. So basically, I'll tell you what I'm thinking, right? We put this up here. The roof is going to overhang 1 block, which might actually work. It might make this look big enough. Because I think the big problem is going to be that it's not going to look large enough, and then, well, it's just going to be out of proportion. So there, and 1 more. 1 more. No. Floating blocks. You can go. All right, so how about, as a plan, all right? I've got my, stock standard how to build roofs guide, basically. I'm going to be putting these up just so we can get started, and we're going to put the edge of the roof on each side, and then we'll connect them in the middle. You know, thinking of catchphrases, I just thought about buzzwords and things that I always hear and I always think they sound really silly most of the time. For instance, synergy and stuff like that. I understand what it means, but it seems like people just use them regardless of whether they actually mean anything in the context that people are using them. But I was just thinking about me in one that I've been using, and I've kind of caught on to my own one, which is adding life to the world. It seems kind of pointless, really, when I say that, but I feel like I've got some point to it, and I need to figure it out because it actually makes sense to me. And I know it sounds really dumb because you're like, hey, add life. Yeah, great. Now what? But I think that's the one that I need to work out on. So let's actually get started on this roof, and let's bring life to this roof for what it's worth. I thought I might as well do another one of them. I'm just going to try and make an interesting shaped roof. And these are the stock standard, although I say stock standard, right? But they my stock standard roof, I guess, in this world, where we go something like that there, and we lift up. Ooh, we got to get our toes out the way. We lift up just the middle piece here, and what that does, and also pull this piece here down. We could actually probably do something like that, and then this will merge together because it's a little bit of a smaller roof. So if we do something here, there, and 2 magical blocks there, and another one, actually we'll go out here, just like that and that. And let's just make sure the shape works. I think this will. It's one that I've probably done a shape of quite a few times in terms of size. Yes, that might actually, we might benefit from making this roof 1 block bigger on either side, or maybe I'll just keep it small for now and we can put another one in here. Because, oh yeah, I even forgot. This is what we were up to. I've been busy with working on stuff. The sun's going down as well. Don't worry about that. But on these docks, because when we finished the last episode, we only had up to there. So we had those. I've added this corner in and that turn there. So it's going to go around like this. But we do have a slight issue when you come around this side. When we look at, oh, the sun's going down too quickly. Over here, look at this. Not a large gap, so we might have to think about this and what we're going to do. Are we going to connect these up? Is it going to be maybe pushed back a little bit? I don't know. Okay, the whole roof is now on. Let's have another look. So we've got 2 things which I'm thinking about, and I've already thought about the other one, so it's irrelevant. First one, size. I think it is a little bit too small, but I'm going to hold off on that for a little bit of time. Number 2 is color, and I think we've got a great opportunity here to add a little bit of color, aka add life to the place. How about that? So we'll switch this up, and what I'm thinking is very, very simple. We just take one of these and drop them over there. So we'll do half of it and add in a little bit of dark prismarine, which is actually a bit of a problem to get. So if we do like it a lot and we end up using it even more, which is probably very likely, we may have to go doing a little bit of squid hunting, or just do it properly and actually build a squid farm, which is probably going to take forever. So I'm down with hunting them for now, or just not liking the block. That's the alternative, I guess, you know? We could just choose to go out of our way to dislike this block, and then we won't have any problems. Same as my problem with bone block before we started getting bones from our mob farm, which really we don't even have to use bones for anything just at the moment. But for that there, I really love bone block, and when I need it, I don't have it, and as soon as I have it, I just hardly ever use it. So hopefully it doesn't become the same thing with the dark prismarine. Alrighty, there it is. And again, I think it's one of those get the right angle for it things. We're walking down here. I think that works. I think that works so good. You know what I can see working really well for it? First of all, let's get rid of these blocks. Oh no. How did I do that? How did I just break everything in there? Let's just go something like that, and oh, it goes down. Okay, so there, and then we've saved the day. But right in here, putting these blocks actually looked pretty cool. In fact, if we do a thing like this and that, and then we go and put in one of those there, I think that'll look pretty cool from the side, just to get a little bit of a, yeah, a little bit of a color underneath there. That's perfect. That's actually really good. Now, I want to try this maybe one wider, although, we do need to fill space. Maybe let's just fill the space underneath it. So we could put some of these in. Do these connect? Oh no, they connect. Oh man, that is actually one of the things I was really hoping these things wouldn't. There's a few blocks that just, I don't know, it doesn't make sense for me, to me at least, for these to connect, but they do, and we're gonna have to live with it. So maybe I will, yeah, I think maybe it seems to make sense that we move this 1 block out and maybe 2 blocks wider. And then we put this thing together, maybe. On second thought, I think I'll keep it this way. And I've got another reason. You see, this is like the puzzle game that we have been playing with a lot of the builds, where I could either do a few smaller things and, well, more smaller things and get a lot more stuff going on, or I could do some real big things and fill the area up really quickly and, well, very easily. It's kind of like it's a cheat way of doing it, you know? You could just do a really big thing and fill up the whole area. Although sometimes it does require the scale, but for this one, I think actually the small is where I'm going to sit with it. Because first of all, it does add a little bit more that we can do, for instance, add other things in the area versus just one big thing like this. And also it's meant to just be a small area where people go for shade. So I don't think it's a big deal. So I think we keep it. All right, so weird side rant. I've just realized that we've got ink sacs in here to make dark prismarine as if it's dyeing it dark. But we've also now recently got at least the black dye. That seems pretty weird. And now if this does not work, it's gonna blow my mind. Yeah, look at that. What? This doesn't make sense to me. I just don't understand. It's darkening the prismarine. Surely the black dye should work for that. Very, very odd. All right, we got a little bit of a side situation here. I have gone out to actually have a look for some ink, which I said I really did not want to. But apparently ink is not what I need right now. I need to get these guys gone right now. Oh, actually, I'm a little bit too close to eat. Dang it. This actually could be a very, very dumb situation. I think I know that island. I hope I know that island. If not, we are lost as well. And our items will be lost for good. 1 down. You're not anything. And no good drops. But a really silly situation. We're back on some dry land. And I've got to say, that situation with the whole trident throwing, that was actually way worse. I just watched it back and I realized I killed the second little, what are these guys, drowns? I killed that one, but I did realize that there was actually 2 attacking me with tridents before, but I think the one hit the other one and eventually like they got in each other's way. So I thought that was way more intense when I recorded it, and it probably didn't look quite as intense as what it actually was, but I thought I'd just put that little statement on there because of course it was not as crazy as it looked to me at the beginning. So there we go, that's that. Now, what I'm doing here, and also by the way, I got all the things that I needed, so that's great. I also realized we had a whole bunch of dark prismarine at our spirit wood base, so that's a bit of a pity because of course, well, we've just gone ahead and almost got wrecked by some of those guys, but you know what, we got future dark prismarine for days, so that's good. Now, also, I'm trying to complete this place, just make this feel a little bit more filled up. And I'm kind of getting an idea that maybe less is a little bit more with this. You know what? Here's one more thing. Does this connect? Please don't connect. You connect. Why do you do that? Why do you connect? That's ridiculous. All right, so there, and let's try defy physics and put a lid on this. Okay, actually there's a little bit of a rim on it. That works. Okay, good. So we can maybe do a few more. I'm just trying to get a few different types of barrels so that we don't see the same thing over and over again. I mean, putting a few of these is probably not too bad. For instance, here we do a little bit like that, there, and we'll do a stack like that. So it kind of works a little bit better. We've got different types of barrels. Another thing which I think would benefit this area quite a lot is just adding a little pop of color. If you look at it, it kind of tells a bit of a story. Things are being done underneath here. But I think having a little bit of color as if this is poking through. And this is one thing I know someone's going to say, what are you doing? You're using proper brick. Never use proper brick. I will tell you, I've used proper brick a few times and I am starting to like it in a few situations. I know this is a little bit weird and it's a bit of getting used to, but if we add these and maybe a little bit of, yeah, a little bit of normal clay, like hardened clay, it works out really well just to merge those in. This one might not be the best one to have merged them in, but you'll see what I mean when I've got that in there. Those are some of the ideas for it. And of course, just as if someone is underneath here working, we'll also put a little grindstone down there and it just fills it up. Yeah, fills it up, makes it feel like it's an area where people stop by. Now, what level is that? Not the level that we can place it on. I guess I could just maybe put that one block down and then I could place that. Perfect. All right, so how does that look? Yeah, that looks good. That's a good little piece of the dock. Semi-completed. We obviously have got a few more things which we can add into it, but that's definitely an improvement. I also thought about just going ahead and putting these on, which I haven't done. This is one of the tricks that obviously you learn when you first start Minecraft. You know, you can put those things on before we had the luxury of proper bark blocks. You can finish them off, but because I always saw it, and I'm kind of a bit silly this way, I tend to overdo things when I see them all the time. So if I see underdo the overdone things, or overdo the underdone things, where I see these all the time, I would purposefully not put them on my things, but now that they don't exist again, I'm going against the current again, putting them down. So, next move is, actually, we're gonna have to do the background, but that's not today's job. Today's job is, I think we have got ourselves a pretty boring looking piece down here. Look at this. That looks pretty boring, and I think we can improve that area there very, very easily, and actually, I think probably quite quickly. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to get a brand new inventory, get some real good stuff, and fix this place up. Alright, the game's just mocking me right now. These darn squid, I've actually found a few more of them when I've come back and gone away and come back. They just keep appearing here. It's just because, of course, I did not even have to risk my items for them. Gosh, it's actually weird how that happens all the time. But here, this is what I want to be not too weird. I want this to work really well, is I want to put in some of these around here, these rocks. And you see this? Look at that. In fact, I'll go F1 just so we can see that. That connection there between the normal stone and then the andesite is so darn good, and having this half slab just works so well. In particular, look at these, right? These little pixels here. I know it's super micro stuff, but I like looking at these little things with the textures. I don't even know if they're planned to add in here, but those colors there and those colors there merge in so well when you don't have that line like that. Look at it. It just works so darn well. It's just a little thing that I think really adds a lot to it. So what I was thinking, we do something like that. We can maybe add in a few little pieces here. I think I did have some of these, and well, you know what? That was a mistake, but let's see what that looks like. Yeah. So you see, it just makes this area look a little bit rocky, which is what a lot of these kind of harbors look like. So if we can put a few more of them in, just to break up the walls and of course the floor a little bit, because that was what was really, in my opinion at least, what I think this place was really lacking, was a good looking little combo of stuff on the floor here. And then from here on, actually, we're going to start improving quite a bit, because the next stage, as I say, is going to be the walls on the background there, and then we're going to start just adding more and more and more, and it's all going to start coming together more and more and more and more, and I think everything's going to look real good. Now here's the other thing that I thought would go well, and this is actually going to have to be used fairly sparingly, not because I don't have a lot of it, but because when you overuse it, it just does not look good. So there, and maybe another one in there, and then we break. Then we just do that. We just break a bunch of these. Actually get a little bit of lag, and you guys, all this green grass. And also, of course, when you try and swim. So there, and a little bit here. So now, how's this looking? A bit too green? I think so. But that's alright. We've got some more plans. So the other plan that I was thinking of, and of course, actually, this is probably something we should probably check. How does it look when we step up on the top here and have a look down? Honestly, that does not look too bad. It doesn't look like I've got too much green there. I think it maybe is just the angle from the top there. But that just starts adding a totally different vibe to this place, and I'm liking it. So I brought some kelp there. This is going to be the next stage. And then I've got a genius plan, I hope. So we do something here. And by genius, I mean I've done it before and it worked really well. And I am probably overselling it quite a bit too much. Let's just do some of these to the top, just so that they give us a proper feel for what it's going to look like. We can't put one on top there. No, of course not. And there. So we'll put some kelp. I always confuse those two words. I know what they are. I know the difference, but the words always confuse me. So there. Yes, I like that. That is good. All right. So plan number 2, which is going to be drying some of these out. And of course, also not getting attacked by mobs. So how about I quickly sleep and then we will come back with the rest. And we're back. And where's that ender pearl? There it is. Beautiful. Perfect. All right, so here is where I forget something. Can we pick these up with shears? I think that's the right one. That is not the right one. Silk touch or shears? Okay, that is a little bit confusing. I was under the impression that we could do that. Maybe... You know what? I'm gonna have to work that out. That's a bit strange, because if I do something like this, and I want to use Silk Touch, so Silk Touch there, we'll pick up that one. Silk Touch on one of these, we'll pick it up. Okay, I'm a little bit lost. Maybe it's in my inventory? No, definitely didn't create anything. I could swear that was something, but I guess, you know what? We're gonna add color, and it's gonna force us to make this place a little bit more colorful, and that might even be something that's an improvement. So, joke's on you, blocks, for not working the way I want you to. You're gonna actually make this place look better. So, take that. How about this? Let's have a look. Underwater doesn't count. We've learned that. Above water, the yellow is a bit too strong, and the red is a bit too strong, but the blue and purple go just right. And an ender pearl was probably not the smartest thing there. So, red, oops, and... You know what, I'm just gonna test this. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Worth it. Wasting it just to figure it out. So let's step up here and get one big view of it. Oh, well, we should have been one level up. I like that. That's good. You see, what's really happening now is obviously just breaking up the straight lines, because that's what really is the killer in a lot of these builds, is the straight line. So we break them up with that. In fact, even breaking up that somehow, the water, if we had a rock coming up all the way there, could work quite well. Maybe over there or somewhere, we'll test it out. But that's something that helps. And let me just check. Did I have anything else that I had planned that I just didn't put in here? Because I always fill up the inventory with stuff, and then we forget about stuff. And then I don't check the inventory until I'm throwing it all out. And then I realize I forgot some really good things to put in there. But you know what? I think this is actually good. I think I like this place, and it's going to work really well. So I'll go ahead, fill in the rest of it. But for today, of course, that will be our episode. So thank you so much for joining me. I did really enjoy this piece here, and I hope you guys did as well. And I will be seeing you guys in the next one for something a little bit further away from these docks.